Hey guys, Henry here again with another reaction video. Today we're taking a look at the new Last Epoch patch overview trailer. I know this has been out for a couple of days, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, and I want to take a look at it now because I'm in the middle of blasting through Path of Exile with my mercenary. I'm having a lot of fun. Galvanic arrow with artillery on a tactician is pretty sick. I was here, yeah. And I just wanted to take a look at the patch overview. I'm really hyped for this Friday. I'm hoping to get through mapping by the end of this week. If not, it's fine. We can continue it later. But I really want to see what's new in store for Last Epoch. So let's just start playing and see what's going on.
Hello, travelers.
Hey,
I'm Jed
travelers.
Kobler, game director for Last Epoch and founder of 11th Hour Games. I'm excited to tell you more about the long-anticipated content coming in Season 2, called Tombs of the Erased, releasing on April 17th. For Season 2, we took more time and focused on the things that our players were telling us they'd like to see next, like expanding the endgame, more content variety, balance, and more. Season 2 is truly a massive update, and there's plenty to cover, so let's dive in. In Season 2, you are introduced to the Woven, a new in-game faction. Their followers worship the Weaver, a titan who seeks to create a new world free from the void and other imperfections. When exploring the Monolith of Fate, you'll encounter procedurally generated tombs and cemetery side zones, in which the Weaver has been experimenting with souls and memories to make her new world.
Ooh.
The Woven seek to perfect the
Hey,
Weaver's
I like that
design by
ice
sending the
skill.
travelers
It just
to
repeats
tombs and
itself.
cemeteries to cull her flawed creations. These tomb and cemetery side zones are the foundation for interacting with our new in-game systems in Season 2. Inside these zones, you'll find the Woven, who have captured souls for the Weaver and wrapped them in cocoons.
Okay, so it's like a spider, Egyptian spider type of theme. I like the aesthetic.
Breaking these cocoons open will release the souls, which will then flee and possess nearby enemies. Possessed enemies gain new abilities and increased health and damage, and when slain, drop.
Okay, so it's like kind of like tormented spirits in PoE 1, or like the wisps that are going on in PoE 2 right now.
Memory Amber, a new currency used in the Weaver faction. You want to collect as much Memory Amber as you can throughout the zones. Tombs and cemeteries will end with a unique boss fight that, if completed, will reward you with the ability to access the Woven Enchanter,
Whoa.
which can enchant one of your class-specific idols.
Oh, that's cool.
Enchanting an idol
Increase frostbite duration. Okay, I'm guessing you can re-roll this?
via the Woven Enchanter will add a new affix of a random tier and an amount of Weaver's Touch. Weaver's Touch is converted to randomly upgrade the affix applied and or add an additional affix to the idol that can also be upgraded if there's additional Weaver's
Oh shit, so the more Weaver's Touch you have, the more mods you can add to an item, basically?
Touch to be converted. Much like the Weaver's Will mechanic. These may have up to 2 enchanted affixes total. This conversion of Weaver's Touch happens as you gain experience while having the idol equipped. The first enchantment of an idol is free. Re-enchanting the same idol costs Memory Amber each time and re-rolls a new enchantment affix, replacing the previous affixes.
Okay.
To keep non-class idols competitive, we've added new idol subtypes with more powerful modifiers.
Oh yeah, that's really good. I was gonna say, isn't this gonna basically invalidate like smaller idols? But I guess they added new ones to make it competitive still.
As well. Completing a cemetery, the larger of the two types of side zones, will also give access to an altar of the Weaver.
This is the mapping, by the way. This is mapping in Last Epoch.
Altars are used to place the Weaver's constructed realities into the Echo Web.
Oh, is he crafting maps?
Which take form as and are called Woven Echoes. Woven Echoes are a new...
Yeah, so the maps in this game are called Echoes, but these are Woven Echoes because of the spider stuff. So he's like creating
special itemized type of echoes.
Yeah, it's a map in the form of an item.
Glimpses into the Weaver's new world that introduce a lot of exciting new content and rewards to Last Epoch.
Is that the Primalist? I think that's the Primalist.
Endgame. These drop from enemies within tombs and cemeteries and can be purchased from the Woven faction NPC, Mask.
Mask, with a Q-U-E.
Woven Echoes will provide new challenges and objectives, such as access to brand new bosses like the Draw Queen.
Whoa, that bitch looks huge! Look at this guy.
The Antipode Dragon, or enhanced versions of existing bosses like Majasa with new abilities. And
oh, I remember Majasa. She was like Act 2 or Act 3 or whatever. I remember when I played at launch when this game first came out. I remember playing. She had like a time thing where she like she switches dimensions or whatever.
Even an uber version of the pinnacle boss Aberoth introduced in Season 1.
I haven't fought him yet,
But
though.
beware, defeating Uber Aberoth is only accomplishable by the most skilled players and powerful characters in Eterra. There are many powerful rewards tied to Woven Echoes, such as unique forges giving you special ways to craft items not found anywhere else in the game, access to new unique items only found by defeating these bosses, and even ways to accelerate in-game progression for alt characters by bringing a timeline's corruption up to match the corruption of another character's timeline. We'll go over some Woven Echoes momentarily. So far, there are 37 different types of Woven Echoes being introduced with Season 2 and more to come. Once you've found and completed your first cemetery, you'll catch the attention of Mask, the Weaver's High Priest, who will bring you to the Haven of Silk to tell you more about the Woven and then invite you to join them.
Yeah, so this game has a faction system, and when you have a faction equipped, or like if you're part of one, as you kill shit, it levels up like the faction, and you gain like permanent bonuses to your character.
Joining and gaining rank with the Woven will allow you to unlock more Woven Echoes and give you access and points to spend in the new Weaver's Tree.
Yeah, there's a passive skill tree just for this faction only.
The Weaver's Tree allows you to influence the encounter.
Or no, sorry, it's not only, but it's each faction has their own. Does each faction have their own tree in this game, or is it just the Weaver that has the tree? I think it's just the Weaver. I'm not sure.
Rewards in the Monolith of Fate, providing more agency over your in-game experience. Some options include having a chance for Arena Echoes to be replaced with Super Arena Echoes, which contain champion enemies, or having items with Weaver's Will be rolled twice and keeping the higher value of the two.
Oh, value is lucky. That's a lucky stat, like in PoE.
Or sometimes letting a Shade of Orbis ambush you in your Echoes for additional drops and challenge.
Nice.
Some key nodes allow items and Woven Echoes to be imprinted into the tree, yielding different effects. Like imprinting a Woven Echo, giving it a chance to spawn in your Echo Web without placing it via the altar of the Weaver in cemeteries.
Ooh.
Or imprint an item to make it so that an item of the same type and rarity is granted as an additional reward when completing Echoes.
Oh, that's really good. That means you can farm a particular item type over and over again. And it's guaranteed to drop. PoE needs that. They need to make it so that you can like imprint items into the tree or into something in some way similar so that it's a guaranteed drop every time you complete whatever the task is. Because this way you can farm a base type or farm a particular item and then just hope that the rolls are better on the mods. That's sick.
Or imprint an item and there will be a chance for enemies in regular Echoes to drop a pile of items similar to the...
Yeah, like that's exactly what I was talking about right there.
There are many
I like this new layout. This is new. This wasn't in the original before.
fun and exciting options in the Weaver's Tree that allow you to shape your end-game experience and loot hunt. We can't wait to hear your feedback. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about a bit more of the interesting itemization and crafting options coming with Season 2, largely enabled via these Woven Echoes. In Season 2, we're introducing set item crafting, which can be accessed via the Great Bridge Woven Echo. Shattering a set item grants you 1 to 4 set affix shards you can then use to craft your own reforged set items.
Oh, that's so cool.
Each set item is associated with one specific shard unique to that set item that when crafted onto an item makes it act as that set item.
Oh, that's so good. That's really good. So if you break, it's like disenchanting basically in PoE, right? If you disenchant, or in this case shatter, a set item. Set items are items where if you wear all the pieces, you gain a bonus, right? Just to keep it simple. If you shatter a set piece that you don't need, you can get the set piece bonus from it as a material that you can use to craft onto like a yellow or a blue armor, and it considers that part of the set. So even if you don't find the original piece, you can craft a set using like other items that you found on the ground and still consider it a part of the set bonus and still like capitalize from the set bonuses. That's really strong.
This means that you can craft your own reforged set items.
Yeah, exactly.
Count for the set's bonuses.
Exactly.
And you can mix and match these by using the original set items together with the reforged set items. You can craft these onto different item subtypes. Only one type of set affix shard can be applied to any individual item, and this item cannot be used in legendary crafting via the Eternity Cache. We're also adding the ability to re-roll the legendary potential of uniques via the Far Sight Turtle Woven Echo. The unique must have at least one legendary potential. Rerolling the legendary potential possesses quite a significant risk, as if the legendary potential fails to go up, it will instead go down all the way to 0. This is a worthy risk, as many times to get an upgrade, you need to have more than one legendary potential. And even in the case that it ends up going down to 0, you can then attempt to upgrade it again via the Nemesis Egg, providing multiple new chances to turn an item that might not be an upgrade into an upgrade.
That's nice.
In the Orden's Watch Woven Echo, you can replace attributes, strength, dexterity, attunement, or intelligence, with another, as long as the affix isn't sealed. This costs
that's cool.
potential from the item. The tier and roll range of the replaced affix will be preserved for the new affix.
Oh,
In
nice.
the Gauntlet of Strife Woven Echo, you'll be challenged by a sequence of boss encounters, and by completing, you'll be rewarded with access to the Sacrificial Altar, which can be used to sacrifice a unique, legendary, Weaver's Will item or set item to re-roll the mod and implicit values of a matching item. The item being sacrificed needs to have equal or greater legendary potential or Weaver's Will.
So you take an item of the same base type and you sacrifice the one that has the better mods, and it also has to have equivalent legendary potential and imprint some of those mods onto the new item. Okay.
Rune of Research and Glyph of Insight have been removed and replaced by the Thaumaturgy device at the end of the Rune Prison Complex Woven Echo, where you can replace a prefix with an experimental affix on boots, gloves, or a belt. This makes the process of crafting experimental affixes much simpler.
Yeah, experimental affixes are like a special affix that used to only drop from a particular area. They're like mods that do like do one particular thing really well. But I think there was a point where only like the one for Ward was really good at the beginning, and then I guess they reworked it. I don't know it that well, but
the Exile Mages you encounter will have a chance to drop this Woven Echo. We're also adding some brand new crafting materials, such as Rune of Weaving.
Transforms a random amount of the remaining Weaver's Will or Weaver's Touch on an item into additional affixes or affix tiers, as if you had slain many enemies with that item equipped. Ooh, okay.
Which speeds up your Weaver's Will and Weaver's Touch item conversions. Using a Rune of Weaving will convert some Weaver's Will or Touch to add additional affixes or
Holy shit, that looks really good. Wow. Double res. Triple res. Health. Critical strike. Okay.
Tiers, like you would gain by slaying enemies with the item equipped.
Oh, 71 to cold res? What the hell? He's got 71 cold res on one item.
Rune
Holy shit.
Which shuffles the tiers of affixes of an exalted item. Sealed affixes are unaffected by this action. For example, you could potentially use the Rune of Havoc to change Tier 1 Strength to Tier 7 on an item that had a different affix at Tier 7 previously. Rune of Redemption, which rerolls exalted affixes to other affixes, preserving tier and roll range.
Oh, that's good, okay, so it preserves the tier and the roll range, so it's not going to go down. It'll only be the same.
Again,
but just a different mod.
Sealed affixes are unaffected.
Right.
Another crafting update we believe you guys will be excited about is when using the Eternity Cache in...
So if I remember correctly, the way the Eternity Cache works is that the lore is like you put an item in a chest, because the game is all about time travel. So you put an item in a chest along with another item, and then you're in the past, and then you go to the future, and then the item has changed over the thousands of years that you've left it inside of the cache. And I think the effect is that it will like merge the two items together, and you might get the affixes of both items. If you're lucky, you'll get all the good ones and none of the bad ones.
In Temporal Sanctum, Tier 2 or above, you may now select one affix that is guaranteed to be applied to the legend.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I see, look.
That you're about to create.
Yeah, so he got the same looking shield again, but he got some of the affixes from the second one that he put in.
Season 2 brings an additional challenge for...
Ooh, 104 increased melee damage? Holy shit, some of these mods are insane.
Players with newly introduced champion enemies that spawn in the campaign, monolith, and dungeon. Champions are powerful versions
I believe the monolith, I believe, is mapping. I believe that's what that means.
of enemies with additional and altered abilities that spawn with 3 additional random modifiers, including 1 champion mod. They drop extra loot when killed and even have a small chance to drop much rarer loot, like a pile of unique items. Champions also always drop an item with a sealed champion affix that depends on the champion's mod. For example, a Volcano champion will always drop a belt with a Volcano champion's affix.
Volcano champion affix. Oh, he must be talking about the golden letter on the bottom here. 31 increased elemental critical strike, 8% chance to cast fire aura on crit.
These mods have unique affixes rarely seen elsewhere and can be very powerful when used with the correct builds. We've made many updates to both the monolith and dungeons. Monoliths have new objectives, like slaying enemies until a cocooned item drops, which is a unique item that has a higher chance to have legendary potential when identified, or the need to seal deadly void rifts that had begun appearing in the echoes. You can now reach empowered monoliths on alts much more quickly, as we've made characters in the same environment share Monolith of Fate timeline unlocks. We've improved arenas by having enemy waves spawn more quickly, and increased enemies' movement speed so that they don't take as long to reach you.
There you go.
And we've updated Echo Spire objectives, so that the spires are guarded by a mini-boss and only attack you once you've engaged the Guardian.
Yeah, that's good.
This means that they will no longer shoot at you from all the way across.
Exactly, yeah, that shit was annoying.
For dungeons, we're introducing dungeon charms, which can modify a dungeon run.
Oh.
We're introducing 2 charms with this patch, one of which is called a portal charm that can be used to immediately portal to the boss of a dungeon.
Oh my god, that sounds so OP.
And gain a random...
That's so sick. You used to have to run the whole way through.
...assortment of mods that you...
Scale charm, used on internet, greatly increases the number of loot lizard. Oh, is that like a loot gobbler? A loot gobbler? Okay, so they're called loot lizards. Okay.
...would have gained along the way. Get Key Trader to Majelka's Upper District in the Divine Era, where you can exchange any 3 dungeon keys for a portal charm. In dungeons, you can now use a key to respawn either on the floor you've gotten to or at the boss, instead of needing to repeat the entire dungeon. Please, don't test this as a hardcore character. It will not save you. In Season 2, the Sentinel class is receiving a ton of updates, from small adjustments to skills to fully reworking others.
Dude, the Void Knight looks crazy sick in this game. He's a lot cooler looking than he did before.
Paladin and Void Knight are receiving major overhauls to their mastery passive trees, and Forge Guard is receiving some additions, like a passive allowing them to wield a 2-handed weapon and a shield at the same time.
Oh, they're doing a Giant's Blood. Nice.
Volatile
That's Giant's Blood in PoE.
Has been completely reworked, including a brand new skill tree. By default, it is now a combo traversal skill, where the first use of the skill sends you forward in time to a location to strike enemies in an area, while the second use sends you back in time to...
Yeah, that's sick. I like that. Oh, that's so sick. Because I'm a huge melee fan in ARPGs. This looks tight, and it's purple. I like the purple.
Once again, striking enemies in that area. You can build for melee or spell damage, and the tree offers some great interaction with other skills like Devouring Orb. We've renamed Sigils of Hope to Symbols of Hope to free up the term for the planned skill sigil system coming later, and have updated its functionality.
Oh, really? So they renamed a skill because there's a new mechanic coming out later. That's cool.
Symbols of Hope now automatically generate symbols for you.
Nice.
No spending
I played a paladin in the last season, or in season 0, like the launch.
Mana or stopping to cast it. Actively using the ability now consumes the symbols to grant ward and temporary damage reduction.
Oh, paladin is sick too.
Devouring Orb at a baseline now also deals void damage over time in an area around it, and these damaging areas can stack. Its skill tree has been updated with cool new possibilities, including a node that instantly casts it for you whenever you move. No more numlock needed, and no more getting interrupted every time it casts. Most Sentinel skills received a variety of small to moderate updates to improve their power and offer additional build options. Examples include Multi-Strike that has been given more support to deal single target damage by allowing additional swords to hit the same target.
Yeah, that's good.
Vengeance has been updated to include conversions to both fire and void. Rive can now be converted to void.
Yeah, okay.
Javelin's Divine Fury and Siege Barrage nodes.
That's a sick skill. It's like lightning javelin, but you shoot it up and it comes straight down, like artillery.
Hammer Throw has received buffs to non-spiraling nodes. Shield Throw no longer has a cooldown at base and has a node to allow it to bounce from the player.
Oh, nice.
And Time Rot is now a viable, distinctly unique damaging ailment for Void Knights. We're also very excited to bring a new skill to Marksman.
I think it's called Heartseeker, right?
Heartseeker.
Yeah, yeah.
Heartseeker shoots a single target arrow that seeks a nearby targeted enemy and has a chance to recurve, meaning it pierces and comes back to hit the target again. When building for Heartseeker, you'll likely want to increase the recurve chance, allowing it to pierce and hit the same enemy many times. If the target is destroyed, and Heartseeker would have recurved, it will instead seek another nearby target. Heartseeker's skill tree gives options to be converted to fire and cold, has lots of support for poison and bleed, can be used as utility to generate mana and different shrouds, and even to provide global buffs granting added throwing and spell damage. You can also remove the base functionality where Heartseeker seeks a new target after slaying the first, and instead turn those leftover recurves into puncture skill procs that fire towards nearby enemies. Heartseeker requires 30 points in the marksman tree, and Hail of Arrows has been moved to the 35-point skill unlock
Okay.
slot.
I didn't play a rogue, so I don't really know
Season
the
2
tree
is
that well.
bringing quite a lot of balance changes. Health builds are generally more effective as there is much more access to health modifiers across the game.
Nice.
Health affixes and health regeneration have been buffed, and health granted per level has been increased.
Wow.
Ward builds are
Yeah, that's the thing about PoE I feel is lacking in PoE 2. There's not enough health that you can get from gear and like passive skill nodes on the tree. Whereas PoE 1 has a lot of passive nodes that have health. So I think that making health like more available is definitely like a huge W.
powerful, but outliers allowing for massive ward generation have been rebalanced. In general, many skills have received buffs, as our goal is to make many more builds viable for in-game content, and previous meta builds that were overperforming have been brought in line. Skills such as Black Hole, Elemental Nova, Tornado, Flurry, and Shurikens have had their damage effectiveness increased.
Look how fast that is.
We expect there to be a lot of new builds that players
Look how
are
fast she's stabbing, Jesus.
excited to try out in Season 2. Idle enchantments and new non-class specific Weaver idols will also raise the power level floor for all builds. Many unique items have received a pass to help make them more useful. For example, Eye of Reen can once again be used with Warpath and other skills which hit with indirect attacks. Boulder's Wrath can proc Earthquake twice as much as before, and Stormbreaker can now gain Storm stacks instead of a small chance to cast Lightning Strike. We've also applied some quality of life updates to multiple skills, like Warcry's Berserk lasting 50% longer.
Okay.
Dreadshade no longer has a duration. You can hold 3 black arrows from Dark Quiver at once. And we've
Ooh.
increased the amount of shortcutting you can do with movement skills by increasing the distance you can travel.
Oh, that's
with
really
movement.
that's the best one right there. Travel skills are always something that should be always, you know, made in the thought of like the player getting around the map better. You know, it's always nice to have it travel further, cuts the campaign time down. It's just nice to have.
Loot lizards will spawn a bit less
Loot
baseline
lizards.
in Season 2, but there will be more scenarios where you'll be excited to find them, and you can also increase their spawn rate via the Weaver tree.
Kill the loot lizard.
In Season 2, we're introducing 25 new unique items.
Okay.
This includes 8 new Weaver's Will uniques and 4 early backer uniques. About half of these are tied to new tombs, cemeteries, and Woven Echo bosses, while the other half expand on the overarching drop pool. And there are plenty of additional improvements coming with Season 2 to be excited about. You can now respec your mastery for gold in the End of Time. The cost for
Oh,
specializing
yeah, that's so good.
your mastery is a lot cheaper in the lower to mid levels, so it's easier to experiment, but it increases as your character level goes up.
Okay, yeah, so that's really nice. It's like this is basically like your ascendancy in PoE.
We're introducing a beta version of WASD movement.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I hope it works well.
You can access this via the Settings gameplay menu. We'll be monitoring player feedback on this implementation, and we're excited to hear your feedback. We have updated the inventory to have tabs to separate out keys and the new Woven Echoes.
Nice.
And we've also introduced automatic storing as an option that will be on by default.
Oh! Automatic storing. Oh, so you don't have to press a button anymore. It just goes right to your stash.
So that when you pick up crafting items like shards, they will immediately go to your crafting materials panel.
Oh, that's
Both
so
of
good.
these updates make inventory management much nicer, and needing to be dealt with much less frequently. For gamepad, we have completely reworked skill targeting.
Oh yeah, you can play this game with a controller too.
Which improves every single skill and skill mutation, making targeting and using abilities more intuitive and responsive. We can also now make updates to individual skills targeting much more easily, so we'll be looking for your feedback and improving these even further. There are a ton of additional updates and fixes in Season 2, and we invite you to read the full patch notes on our forum. Along with all these incredible updates coming in Season 2, we're excited to announce a new batch of supporter packs known as the Woven series.
Okay.
Each of these 4 supporter packs offers new and unique ways to customize your appearance.
Well, that's a sick. Is that a portal?
And the team has cooked up some pretty amazing offerings.
Wow, these are really nice.
With the Woven Traveler pack. We really wanted our entry-level pack to have some pretty awesome stuff. And what better way to travel through Atera than with your own capybara?
Capybara.
That's right. It wasn't an April Fool's joke after all.
It was.
You will also score 2 new weapon cosmetics, a backslot cosmetic, and all new color arrangements for your evade skill. That's right. With Season 2, we've implemented skill cosmetics.
Oh, really?
You'll find many more in the in-game store.
Oh, nice.
The Woven Templar is the next tier in the Woven series and brings some serious heat. To start, you get all of the cosmetics from the Woven Traveler, and then, to kick off the Templar pack, we start with a full cosmetic armor set known as the Bronze Scale Plate. But the fire doesn't stop there.
It looks
You're
nice.
also getting Yoshok's Destroyer, a massive 2-handed hammer cosmetic, a new portal skin, another fiery...
That portal skin looks amazing.
A massive 2-handed hammer cosmetic, a new portal skin...
Guys, yo, this is crazy looking. I love the lava molten... It looks painful just to walk through it.
Another fiery evade cosmetic, and the first look at the fire footprint cosmetic, and an additional 100 epoch points to use in the in-game cosmetic shop.
Yeah, so similar to PoE, if you buy a package, like a huge package deal, like what they're selling here, these packs, they give you additional currency to buy in the store, like on top of what you already own.
Up next, and second tier in the Woven series, is the Woven Vanquisher Supporter Pack, and this pack is charged and ready. As with the previous tiers, the Woven Vanquisher Supporter Pack also includes all cosmetic items from the Woven Templar and Woven Traveler packs. Kicking off the Woven Vanquishers pack, players will harness the power of the Storm with the Thunderfang cosmetic armor set. You'll also receive the Tempest Gate Portal, Storm Drake Wings back attachment,
oh, that's nice.
Storm Dragon Staff, Storm Walker Evade Effect, and Lightning Footprints.
Lightning
and
Footprints.
Finally, if you're looking to get everything the Woven series of supporter packs has to offer, then the top tier Woven Legend supporter pack is the one for you. Harnessing the visual prowess of...
I think this is probably like the $100 one, I think.
Weaver herself, don the Shroud of Woven Disciple cosmetic armor set. Be sure to bring along your faithful companion, the Thread Strider pet.
Oh, Spider Buddy.
You will also receive 4 unique evade cosmetics and the Weaver Footprints visual effect. The Woven Legends supporter pack also includes all of the cosmetic offerings from the Woven Vanquisher, Woven Templar, and Woven Traveler.
What the hell is that skill?
This really is the Get Everything pack.
Yeah.
We're also adding many more items you can purchase with epoch points in the store.
Oh, what the hell is this? Scuttling Bloodgate.
Including those awesome new skill cosmetic effects.
Oh, that looks fucking crazy. That's a cool looking one.
We sincerely appreciate your support and hope you enjoy Last Epoch Season 2. Thank you for your patience, as this one took a bit longer to get out, but we hope that the wait was worth it. And we'll aim to be delivering seasonal patches more quickly going forward.
Yeah, because it took like, it was like 9 months before we got a new season from this game. But it sounds like they're gonna end up doing it every normal, like 3 or 4 months now.
Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in Atera for the launch of Tombs of the Erased on April 17th.
Damn. That's crazy. What a great patch. I cannot wait for this game. It's gonna be sick. 17th, I think, or 18th? I think he said 17th. That's, what, in 4 days from now? Is that Thursday or Friday? That might be Thursday, actually. Oh, that's Thursday. Ooh, okay. One less day to worry about. Alright, well, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. This game is sick. I'm definitely going to be playing this game. Definitely going to be playing Void Knight. Void Knight looks tight, man. The teleporting and smashing with that hammer. I can't wait to try that. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the stream, Discord, all that stuff. Later.